If you want to travel with your dog safely in a Ruff Land Kennel, you're probably unsure where to start. What size do you need? What equipment do you need? What straps do you need? This setup I'm about to show you could literally save your dog's life. Hi, I'm Paula with Canine Country Academy. We create videos to give you the tools and the skills to have a well-mannered dog, all while building the relationship you both deserve. As you may have seen in a previous video, Norby and I were in a rollover car accident in the fall of 2020. Thank goodness he was in his Ruff Land Kennel and I was wearing my seatbelt. We could have been injured even more severely or worse. In this video, I'm going to show you how to safely set up your vehicle with Ruff Land Kennels to travel with your dog. One of the most challenging decisions is to figure out what size Ruff Land Kennel to get for your dog. You know, each dog is an individual, and as you can see, we have multiple size dogs. Now, each of these are smaller than what I would typically use for my home kennel. So, you know, a wire crate or another crate inside your home, you want that to be quite comfy for your dog. But when you're traveling with your dog, you actually want your kennels to be slightly smaller and snug so that, heaven forbid, you're in an accident, the dog doesn't bounce around inside the kennel, causing injury to themselves. If you're unsure which kennel to get for your dog, you can leave me a comment down below and I will try to help guide you to the right fit. I've also left some descriptions of dogs that I know and their sizes and their length and their height so that you can get a better idea of which kennel is the right size. Now, these each have different sizes for each of our dogs. Curly, our 14-year-old Rat Terrier Whippet Cross. This is a medium size Ruff Land. This is mostly for Norby and Molly. It is a mid-size, and then this is the small one for our little Panzer. Another thing you're gonna wanna think about and ask questions is about your dog's heat level. If they tend to run hot, you might wanna invest in getting more of these holes on the bottom and or getting a second door. All of our dogs are pretty neutral in their temperature gauge, so we only have front ones, but you can have front and back, you can have front and side. It just depends on your dog. You're also going to want to think about the type of vehicle you have and the type of access that you want. If you want to use this in your SUV, you might have different criteria than in your small car. You can also get ones that go behind your seat and then have a side door so you can easily access the dog by having them come out of the side of your car. Let's get to what you came to see. Let's put this together in my Toyota 4Runner. So first step is I'm going to put all of the crates that I can fit in here safely. That's 2 crates based on the size crates that I have, and I will walk you through how to do that. Once you get your kennels in place, you're going to want to secure them to the vehicle. Now, depending on your vehicle, you might have these little hooks so that you can easily strap in your crates. If you don't have that, look around and see what is stable in your vehicle so that you can easily strap them in. Now, one of the things you're going to need is an assembly kit. Now, this assembly kit you can buy directly from Ruff Land Kennels, or I'm gonna give you some links for Amazon that's a little bit cheaper to get the same quality hooks and the screws that you can put into the kennels yourself. Now, you will need a small little ratcheting tool so you can easily turn them in, and you can get that at your local hardware store. Your dog may not be comfortable getting into a Ruff Land Kennel right away. They're slightly smaller than what they would traditionally use around the house. What I recommend doing is what we did with our dog Panzer. When he got his new kennel, we played a little crate games. We let him get in, he got treats or play, and he really enjoys that kennel now without worry as we try to get him in the kennel in the vehicle. Start at home and just let him play in it first. You're also going to want to invest in some ratchet straps. Now, these come in 4 packs. You might only need 2. That's all I need for my vehicle. And what this does is it's going to help us to cinch down the crate so that they don't move around at all while we're traveling and if we were in an accident. Now, these are really nice. I'll put everything in the description down below so you can easily just order straight from Amazon. But you have these nice hooks. We're gonna hook to this attachment here and then weave it through our attachments and the crates. So I'm gonna do one across the front and one across the back, and then I'm gonna show you how to ratchet these down nice and tight. Now for us, we have multiple dogs and multiple size kennels for each of the dogs. And that means that I'm gonna have to regularly pull one of these out to swap out for the dogs that we are bringing with us. If that's the same thing for you, what you're gonna wanna do is actually put all of your ratchet pieces, this little crank piece, on the same side of your vehicle, so that way it's really easy. What I do is the one that I think I'm gonna have to move the most, I keep that to the right because I can easily just pull it out, and I'll put my ratchet attachment mostly on this side, so the crank, because it can't slide through here, it can stay on that side, and it makes it really easy just to undo this, take this kennel out, and put the next one in. Now that you've got it looped through, you're gonna want to make this a little bit tighter, but not completely tight as we want it for our finished setup. Just enough to hold it in place while I climb through my vehicle to attach the back portion, so that way I have it in place and kind of set so that I can make it tighter once I have everything in place. All right, I've tightened up the back ratchet as much as I possibly can, and now I need to do the same for the front. Now what you can see back there is that it's nice and tight, really taut. It shouldn't give or move at all. Right now I can really move these kennels around quite a bit, and so I want this to be just as tight as the back. So I'm just gonna take this strap, pull it a little bit, and bring it up, and then just start ratcheting until I can't ratchet anymore. And you'll see that kennel moved a little bit. And because they're different sizes, it can be a little bit challenging to make sure it's nice and tight and that there's not a lot of movement in the kennels. One thing I failed to mention that my friend Chelsea Murray from Positive Futures taught me is to have an emergency something in the front of your dog's crate. If you were in an accident and you couldn't give information, it's great to have something like this, or they make really nice tubes that you can put information about the dog that's inside that kennel, special medications, who to contact, their microchip number, anything that's important about that dog can be put into this little protector. And you can also trade this out. I just have little clips here, so if I put a different dog in here, I can just take this out, put the next one in. So you might be wondering, like, what do I put inside the kennel so the dog is comfortable? Because these are hard plastic. They are a mold that has no seams. So what I put in my kennels is different than maybe someone else. I put really comfy beds. I want my dogs to be nice and comfy in their kennels. Some people really love, and our trainers really love, Primo pads. They're nice because you can wipe them down if there's an accident or your dog is really muddy on whatever adventure you went on. You can always put that underneath the comfy bedding, or that can be their primary bedding, so it's easy wash and wear. Now I mentioned that we have multiple dogs, multiple sizes, and it's important to me that I exchange the crates out when I bring in a different size dog. So let's say now that Panzer's gonna go with us and Norby's not. So what I'm gonna show you is how I set it up, where my attachments are on this side, the ratcheting side is on that side, and how I'm gonna take this kennel out and then replace it with Panzer's little bitty kennel. Your dog's safety is number one when you're traveling together. And I'm so thankful that I had the Ruff Land Kennels when we had our accident. If you haven't seen that video, I've linked it over here for you. I warn you, it's a bit of a tearjerker, but it's really important to share our story so that you can be safer with your dog the next time you go on an adventure.